It's been a very busy year at the state capitol, and tonight we're taking a look back at some of the big stories that made headlines in Texas politics in 2022. Here's KVUE's managing editor of political content, Ashley Godot.
In January, as Texans prepared to vote in the March primary, we started seeing the effects of a sweeping elections law Texas Republicans passed in 2021. Local election officials worked to inform voters about the additional signature requirements on mail-in ballot envelopes. Still, about 12% of mail-in ballots were rejected during the March primary, a staggering increase from the year before. In February, Governor Greg Abbott directed the Department of Family and Protective Services to investigate families who provided gender-affirming care to their transgender children. The governor called gender-affirming care child abuse, but trans activists and mental health experts say the policy hurts trans children.
It directly conflicts with every single professional organization who has affirmed transgender care as a medical necessity.
The directive has faced legal challenges, and some families have been able to block the state's welfare agency from investigating them. But other families left the state out of fear of investigations. The border was a major priority for Governor Abbott this year. In April, Texas started sending migrants from the border to Democratic-led cities, including New York, Chicago, and D.C.
Texas will be taking its own unprecedented actions this month to do what no state in America has ever done in the history of this country.
According to the governor's office, the bus rides are voluntary, but advocates for migrants call the program misleading and inhumane.
Republicans are playing politics with human beings, using them as props. What they're doing is simply wrong. It's un-American. It's reckless.
To date, Texas has sent more than 14,000 migrants to other states. On June 24th, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the landmark Roe v. Wade abortion decision, triggering an abortion ban in Texas. 30 days after the Supreme Court's official judgment was issued, a Texas law banning all abortions unless a mother's life is in danger took effect. Texans held protests at the state capitol over the summer, but abortion remains banned in Texas. In September, Attorney General Ken Paxton fled his North Texas home to avoid being served a subpoena. A judge wanted him to appear in federal court for a lawsuit challenging a Texas law that potentially penalizes nonprofits for paying for out-of-state abortions. A process server showed up at Paxton's home to serve the subpoena, but Paxton said he feared for his safety. After a back and forth in the courts, Paxton ended up not having to testify. Republicans capped off the year by defeating Democrats in the November general election. More than 8 million Texans, about 46% of registered voters in the state, turned out to the polls. Governor Greg Abbott beat Democratic challenger Beto O'Rourke.
Tonight, Texans sent a very resounding message.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick won his re-election campaign against Mike Collier, and Attorney General Ken Paxton defeated Rochelle Garza. Texas Republicans also kept control of both the state House and Senate. Lawmakers spent the last few weeks of the year gearing up for the state's 88th legislative session. In Texas, state lawmakers convene every 2 years. They started filing bills in mid-November, and already more than 1,000 bills are filed. Lawmakers will start deciding the fate of those bills when the session starts on January 10th. For KVUE News, I'm Ashley Godot.